All right, guys. So not much changed. I mean, obviously they had a pretty crazy run today, right? I honestly anticipated a trend day. I would be lying if I anticipated that it was gonna be to the upside. Even though we had some levels that we said if it breaks, that there's a high chance we're gonna be start executing. And that was our POC, and then we went bullish here, if you guys recall. I was long from the POC, but then again, I was like, okay, I'll play it to here and I did an account that they would run another 30 points from here to here. I mean, I went from red to green just because that one trade, this one candle, if you want to call it, really screwed with my puts. So I lost about 70%, and even with the stop loss, it just did not get filled. So, but that's okay. We had the plan, right? It just that it did not work out, at least on where I was thinking that we were going to be shorting, and that did not work out. But the long side, once we switched the bias, I think we were able to catch a couple of good moves. In terms of volume profile, I mean, this is not something you see typically uh, when you're going down and you open. You open here. Let me go in the regular hour so you guys can see it. If you look here, this is not a typical behavior. You open below the range, you open below the VA, and then you reclaim the POC here at 39.55. And then you literally just disregard every single level of the previous day like it was never there. So that's normal, and that's also being reflected here, right, on the volume profile. So if we are able to kind of go, and I would say if we are able to dip, I would say if we lose this quarterly, or in this case on extended, you have the regular here, the PD value area highs here. If we were to lose this level here, there's a high chance we're going to be getting back to this POC rather quickly, right? Because this POC here wasn't so bullish. Even though we closed above it, we were not able to break like this congestion here. We went below here. Obviously, we closed way above, excuse me, way above the POC and everything else. So it'll be interesting, right? This is going to be a key area for tomorrow to watch, honestly, between 39.70, like this little zone here. If we are to lose this zone, you have a pretty good drop. You have 20 points to catch on the downside. So that would be our short scenario. And I'm looking at the candles right now, and this is setting up, if we break the structure here, we might have some, pullback even quicker. Sorry, I don't know where the line went. You might have even a quicker pullback here than we think. So that's the idea. We don't want them to hold this right now, the PV value area low. If they lose this, then there's a high chance we're going to go here. We lose that, then we get excited. I don't know where we're going to open, but let's see how they do. So that would be the bearish bias. If we, on the long side, it would be really miracle if they're to pull this off, right? And if we open above the previous day high, I mean, the range got to be, how we said, do you guys recall? Everybody said this is like a 15, 20 point range at one point. You guys recall that? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
we were here, right, in 54, so in a 24-point range. And I said the lamp is most likely going to tip over. I don't know if you guys remember me on live. I mentioned that a few times. There's a high chance we're going to have a trend day here. And of course, boom. I guess the reason behind it is that algos picked up the word pause on on the rates, and I mean it literally took off, right? And that's what you get with the algos picking up keywords. So all he had to say is the word pause, and boom, now you got a nice little 50-point run to the upside. Okay, I would honestly, it's really tough to take this over the previous day high, knowing that we had really, really hard time getting over this value area high and finding value. So I know this is brutal, but I would not go long over this to here. Like for me, that's really tight, and there's a POC here as well. So I'm not willing to play this right now. Unless we come here and we show, that we're going to hold that, then there's a high chance, that I might hop in a bounce play here. And there's a potential, right, that this high volume node might hold it, and then we might basically be in the sideways action between these two, and that would be brutal as well. If you guys look, that's your break even supply. So this is your break-even zone right now. So they can stay here for a while. And then from here, you could get a really explosive move. So just watch these two levels that I just marked here. That's 6 points, pretty much, maybe a little less. Well, I'm sorry, a little more here. So watch these two levels, and then either side the breaks, you could potentially catch here if you want to play 13 points to the upside. Just know that you have this high volume node that we're above. So for me, I would not even take this break. I'd wait for this 39, maybe 88 to be taken out. Once that's taken out, you have the PDH, you have the POC here at 98, and then this. So it's a lot of congestion. You have to be fairly quick. And you saw today, if you didn't take, like I was up on those puts $1,000, and I was like, I'm just not gonna take it. I think that, based on everything I'm seeing, it just did not look bullish. And of course, the market's gonna do what it wants to do, and it just reversed. So you have to be quick on these points. If you're gonna short this to here, just think you're shorting from 76 to 70. That's 6 points. I don't know. That's just not my appetite. I'd rather short it from here to here. Personally, would let them go long if they can hop over 405. I would rather catch these 10 points than these 10 points here, because these 10 points don't have much in between, while this one has a lot in between. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. It'll be really interesting if they continue higher tomorrow. I mean, I would be surprised. Based on this volume profile, a double distribution, high volume nodes on the top, and us being below these nodes right now, like being below this node is, wow, that's pretty cool. Like there's a chance we're gonna dip this. If you dip this, you're going here, lose this, and there's something else that's screaming at you. Does anyone know what that is? From the volume structure profile, like
Value area making lower low.
The
and lower
value
high.
area highs never move.
Yeah, this is a lower high, right? Lower high here, but somehow the price made a higher high. Think about that for a second. The price
Short
made
squeeze.
it's a short squeeze. Value should have shifted at least higher here, so we know the volume up here is being true volume on the buying. Now we know this is absorption here in the selling potentially.
Oh yeah, there's not a lower high, right?
Yeah, we made a higher high on the price, lower
Yeah.
high on value area, and POC made a lower low.
Yeah.
At one point, value area high of today was way down, but towards the end, they somehow managed to bring it at par with the previous day.
Well, I think it had a lot to do with this here, with these peaks. They shifted it a little bit. So we'll see how it plays out. I mean, but that would be the scenarios that I play. And then if you guys look here, I'm just going to go on the regular, like empty chart. So this is the range that we've been in, right? So if you guys think about it, this was our low that we had, right? Sorry, I'm on SPY. So this is the low that we had, right? And you see them reclaim it here. And then obviously they went off. Of course, there's the gap, right, that we had as well. But they were still trading in it right now. Funny enough, it's still there. So that's the gap that we struggled with. We broke it. Well, let's see what happens now, right? Because from here, if the sellers were to show up, we could make a lower low, which would mean we're breaking 39.30, right? And why is this not? Should be 39.24. Yeah, so it should be 39.24. Man, I could have sworn it was 24.5.
No, it was 24, 25.
Okay, I don't know why. Okay, so now you see the range, right? You're built inside here. I mean, here it's a little bit confusion, right? What's going on? But this is literally where we started, right? So if you guys think about this, so this is where we kind of begin, right? So if you grab the VP from here, anyone shocked?
Nope.
Does anyone remember? I mean, hopefully you guys by now. What is my favorite setup?
The one where you lose and retest right there. This one.
That's the one. It's right here. So if we are able to break this lower high, I'm sorry, lower low, or higher low in this case, things get really spicy really quick. So this is something to watch for. You don't need more than this chart here. Just mark your PD value area highs. This is your range, and this is going to be the range that's respected. If we are able to get over this POC, and I will remember something hopefully here.
I got the previous week POC right there.
Hold on one second. I
Where
forgot.
you have your line at. Red line.
How do I get this to show the values again?
No, you did it right. I usually right click on the price scale, hit labels, indicators, and financial.
I did, yeah, but it's not showing these guys. Okay.
Yeah, I don't. I'll play with it.
No worries. So somewhere around here, right? This, if you're able to hop over 39.85, and if you guys look at this levels that we had here, right? So we said based on the high volume nodes here, it'd be about 39.88. So if we are able to hop over that, let's say 39.88, which is kind of here, there's a chance you could go long. Just know that they have the liquidity here, and that's not something to ignore. Here, they came and swept the liquidity. It means that they're just, guys, remember, auction works both ways. So now, if they swept the liquidity on the upside, what do you think they can do now? If there's more liquidity, there is here, right? There's equal highs here being created. If they have equal highs created and they have liquidity on the upside here. So if they really want to get rid of the puts, from everybody, they just need to break this and then get to the 425. And then this would be a really good short. 431 would be a decent short because we're still in the range. Look, right? And here you have the value area high. If we fail here, then it has some liquidity to grab here in the bottom, 39.25. So now it's just how aggressive are the sellers here? Who's going to come in and control? If you're able to break this, I say this POC, then you have another 40 points. This is bigger scale, bigger picture to run. Does that make sense? So this is, I would keep this handy, this fixed volume profile view, something almost like this. And this would be pretty much telling here. If you lose this level here, look at this level here. Did we say 39.70 was area that was really clustered here? 76 to, what was it? 64.
Yeah.
And that level here, 69. So it's right here somewhere in between this one and this one. That's very, very important. Right? So let's see how they play it out, but I'll be shocked if we hold this. And if you guys look back, did we have similar scenarios like this before? Does anyone recall? I'm not gonna point it out. I'm gonna let you guys look at it.
Can you repeat your question one more time, please?
Did we have another scenario where we ran like this from a lowercase b shape?
Yeah, it's right there. Let's see.
17.
1, 2. But you have one up there on the top. What is your arrow? Go to the left.
There's one right here.
Yeah, there's one right there. Then there's
right
one.
there.
Yeah. There's one right
This is the
there.
dump. Usually, you do not run up from lowercase b shapes. It's not normal that you do that.
I remember you
Especially-
said if you do that, then essentially you come back the next day.
But there's a really high chance you're gonna, I don't know in terms of probabilities, but there's not much holding you. Here they have that break-even zone that might hold here, and you see them now getting into it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where they can stop. When you get into a range like this, and there it goes, look at this. Guys, I'm on a 30-minute candle. So in 5 minutes, this is looking a little bit different. Right?
Mm,
So once you break this, guys, there's really poor structure here. There's nothing holding them there.
It's gonna go
This
down.
auction here is basically, I closed the Excel that I had open, but I posted something for you guys about the tape. That's literally where the imbalance happened. And they could have screwed with the algos where, you know, they overbid, they had a lot more bids than the sellers were willing to sell at that level, and they just basically hit the next level. They just over absorbed every sell order because there was not much selling here because they were not as aggressive to sell here. So they just basically ran it up from there, which is okay. And I'm pretty sure there's a Twitter group, like an expert, that knows why that happened and that he anticipated that move altogether, which is also okay.
Very quick question then. And this imbalance candle on 30 minutes, will it go with the same logic of where you can play 50% of that candle like we do for 5 minutes?
And this one, yeah, of course. Yeah, this is you usually want to find a candle that does it. So here, 39.58, and look where it lines up. What?
Small node. This would be like more of a scalping thing.
Oh yeah, this is called definitely a scalp. Look at this tiny little node here. It's not gonna hold much. So now, tomorrow, ideally for the bear scenario, is let them hold here, let them fail, make a higher high, let's say in this case here, and you give us this. This is what we want.
That will be 80%.
That'll be the 80%. So we'll definitely watch that. That's gonna be a top bearish play that we can see, right? But I would personally wait till this is cleared. I wouldn't want to get caught on the weekly value area low. But let's see what happens, right? So bearish play right here. Some levels in between that you can scalp if you're a scalper, right? So if you want to go in between here and here, sure, you can do that. I mean, that's 13 points here. You're just gonna have a little bit of stuff in between. So, you know, you can't freak out if it pulls back or a big red candle comes. You have to be respectful of it. And then this close here was very interesting. Highest volume and the smallest body candle. I know it's, you know, 530, 330, but it's an important candle. It seems like there was a lot of supply here. They're able to push that down. So let's see. Okay, any questions on this? Guess that's a no.
Shorty, your retest, the retest was the off of the previous week value area low to the bottom.
That's what I would play, yes, in terms of
Okay.
risk. I wouldn't want to risk it for 3 points.
Yeah. Okay.
Instead
Thanks.
of 67, well, it's actually exactly 3 points.
Okay.
No. Whoa. Oh, by the way, guys, this is your Bitcoin. Oh my God.
Holy shit.
Come to Papa. Okay, well, we're going here, bud. 21 here. Anyone willing to take a bet? Place your bets.
No.
Shorty, do you trade Bitcoin?
No, hell no. I just read that being told of the dump, so I was just like, what? Oh man, yeah, it's headed here. I would bet a farm it's headed here right now.
That's
They're,
how many points?
they're just grabbing liquidity now. So this candle alone was 1,400 points.
Holy shit.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Somebody's hurting real bad right now.
I thought they run in parallel. Are they now running inverse of each other, the markets? I thought Bitcoin and ES was running kind of in parallel.
That's what it's
And
supposed.
during only COVID, it was an inflation hedge.
Yeah.
Bitcoin as an inflation hedge. Wow, that's
Yeah, that's what they're marketing it as.
And how's it an inflation hedge?
It's
So
just
it's a
a
deflationary coin. It
Okay.
won't lose value because the number of coins are limited, like 21 million, and whatever is limited in quantity will have always demand. Yeah,
Oh my god.
you know
BS.
the. Thank you.
Didn't
I'm
they
Right
trying
run?
word.
to laugh, but okay, wow. All right.
But before, didn't they run?
I wonder if the CFA Institute put that into their like CFP program. I doubt it. A Bitcoin as a measure to counter inflation.
Yeah.
What inflation is to assets is the same thing gravity is to us. It basically brings you back down. That's okay. Whoever came up with that idea, that's great. Okay, so that'd be ES. Tesla, I honestly think it has more. I think Elon was selling here, and I don't know if anyone knows when is the 13th report supposed to come out for Tesla. Should be sometimes. Let me check.
But Elon promised he won't sell.
Sure.
Every time he does that,
So it should
and then
be
he
coming
promises
out
again.
sometime this month.
He dumps.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting to see. I'm pretty certain he sold. And he's gonna have his puppets again pumped. I watched the whole thing. My wife was so annoyed that I was watching that. It just I didn't hear anything, and maybe I wasn't listening in between lines, but I didn't hear anything where I was like, wow. As soon as you start comparing and putting other brands down, like Porsche this versus us, I don't know. You don't need to compare yourself directly to a Porsche to make a statement, at least not in my opinion. You and Porsche cannot be in the same class. Never will.
Oh, yeah.
That's a cheap shot.
That's why it's like
That's fine.
a plastic box with a battery inside.
Not a, I'll take a 1968 Porsche over any Tesla. And it'll probably appreciate in value. Okay, well, Tesla's obviously in distribution phase here, so if you guys look at this volume, just bring it down and see what happens. What happens here?
Absorption.
Absorption. Low candle, no anomaly here. Picked up volume, a little bit of anomaly, but then I'm watching for this one. Wouldn't you expect this candle to be the highest of all of these volumes?
Yeah.
Doesn't agree. And then you check the 3 days, as I always tell you, and a classic seller buyer's exhaustion. I don't know why I always say sellers buyer's exhaustion. I always say the opposite. I did it last time as well. So classic, let's see, 7 days here. I'd be interested to see. Okay, they're a little dumpy, a little wicks. And now if you clean this up here, this level, you have a nice little crater formation here. And we didn't really absorb enough here. This is just retail FOMO buying. When you see a nice spike, you need to spend time here to accumulate. The institutional buyers did not have a chance to buy here. And here's your structure. Does it look great?
Beautiful.
Great for shorting.
There's nothing holding this, guys. I mean, literally, you break this here. There's nothing holding you till 120.
Wow.
I think on clouds, I was looking from 175, it's 147 directly. Nothing in between.
So this would be the level, honestly. Once you know, you break this, they're gonna be dumping.
Shorty, I guess this also can be played the same way you were saying that if you break out of the range and then you come back to retest it on the downside, that's where you just go for it.
Yeah. And you can use 30 minutes or something like that. And most likely this would be your kind of, if you look at this level here, if you're able to break 187, you can start accumulating some position, and then I would put a stop loss somewhere right above here, maybe 195 on a longer dated puts, just the gap. You know, they might come up to here, protect. There's a little bit of a gap. So let's see. I mean, it has a nice little triangle or bear flag now.
In this market, I would rather do inverse instead of going.
No, I totally agree. I like your thinking there. Yeah, I sold the Tesla Q shares today because I was up nicely. But yeah, I'm probably not gonna ignore it. And Apple, I'll have to check Apple. Yeah, Apple doesn't look too good. That was our short area for Apple. Yeah. Wow, Amazon bounced insanely here. We just broke the structure here. On this. And they came back for a retest. This could be a nasty candle here, guys. Whoever's eyeing right here, this could be if, so watch this. If they lose this right here, which they're losing, they lose this value area low, man. This is gonna be the quickest dump you see. It's 39.47. Call it 45. Watch this here. They're gonna fight now. Okay. What else do you guys have?
Caterpillar, please.
I'm sorry, which one?
Cat.
At?
Cat. Caterpillar.
Oh, at. I'll tell you say at. I'm like, man, I've never charted this one. Oh god. They haven't sold yet. Okay. Do you see everything you have to see compared this to the volume? Here, let me make it easier. Look at the buying. This is gonna crater. Somebody's just trying to get rid of it.
What is that? Ad?
No, cat.
Oh,
Caterpillar.
caterpillar.
There's a bullish volume anomaly here. I would probably short it towards the top. So there's two ways to look at it, right? So if you grab this right here, if they're able to break this, you know, depends how you want to play it. If they're able to break this value area high, there's a high chance they can go to 266 because that means they're outside the VA, right? And there's not going to be much volume here. You see the liquidity, you see the volume. Basically, they're just offloading here at the top. If we break it, you go long and then switch to a little bit of short. I just, you know, everything that I'm seeing from builder standpoint, building, housing, it's pointing down. So I don't know why Caterpillar would benefit from it or how they would benefit from it.
I was also looking at it. Sorry, go ahead. I was looking at a couple of days accumulation, I think on 4-hour time frame. I saw there was accumulation and I took a shot, but they're almost about to hit my stop. And I'll probably get out.
Well, you had, accumulation here, right? So
Yeah,
this
that's
was
what I looked at. Yes, exactly. And there was like
was
an
good.
open drive from there, and that's where I took the shot.
And they gave you a nice retest here all the way to 233. And you see how they brought it back to value, value area low here. And now they're bringing it back to value area high. So I would think they're not going to break this easy, right? And I don't see a lot of volume following here. So I would watch this level. If they hop over it, retest, go long, and then be ready to switch quickly because they might be going for this gap here. But look at the selling volume here. And then you have this here, like a little pin bar. Yeah, I would watch this here. It's not an easy one.
253.85, right?
That's correct. Oh, okay, BA, BA, where's BA? Look at this level that they hit. Oh, that's the POC, right? Yeah. And they bounced right off of this level 197. This is gonna reject the 60 golden pocket, I guarantee you here, wherever that is.
Yeah, it stopped me out, like trailing stop hit at 25%. I was like, that's fine.
Well, this was a really good play for me. I just hate trading this stock, but this area here is gonna be deadly for it. Watch. This is 212, 213. It's been deadly before for a long time to this stock. It's gonna be deadly again. At least we know the levels work on it. Okay, anything else from you guys? AMD.
Nvidia, maybe.
I was trying to, but I guess I can't type. You wanna see magic? Oh, it's just magic. Really has no business being out here. I say here by June and here by end of April, 180.
Like
They
near
run it up here today again. I mean, good chance to get NVDS if someone is not in it.
I think 145 and 125 has like some decent accumulation as well.
Oh, like OI on options?
Oh no, not. I'm just saying like there seems to be a small accumulation before they burst it higher. Near 145 and 125.
Yeah, I just think I don't see anything holding them here.
But it's pretty tiny.
I would say below this shelf here, 221.83, you really open up to run to 182. Well, look at this volume here on today.
I think the ChatGPT fever just died out now.
I don't know. Oof, look at the week. Well, look at the 7 days it's building. What was the ticker for NVIDIA inverse?
NVDS Seattle.
Man, this is good. I think I'm gonna be in this tomorrow, guys. Yeah, I mean, if I can get 19 here, I don't mind even buying 20 here. Because the reward is pretty good. Yeah, this is gonna be in my portfolio tomorrow. I'll definitely buy this. To you guys what you do, but yeah, I'll buy some here. Is this funny to you guys?
That's wow. That's some
Guys,
volume.
see this?
It's a trap.
No, can you add inverses like this on Fidelity? Or
Yeah. Okay.
you can't? Oh, okay. I'm gonna buy it tomorrow, probably for this.
Man, this is pretty fucking crazy.
God.
I just want to set any alerts here so I don't forget. Okay. INTL. What's INTL? So what is this being?
Do you mean INTC until?
Maybe he meant that. Well, INTC came to our level. Do you guys recall this? Very close to 2462. I don't know if anyone remembers that, but that was the level that we said would be a decent opportunity for long, and that's where it came. So yeah, that was a pretty good level. I don't know how we missed it. Should have added some. I would not be shocked if Warren Buffett's buying INTC. Remember, he buys companies that had mismanagement. He got out of TSM. Maybe somebody offered him some special dividends to be in INTC. If this happens, this is. Do you guys remember when he did Bank of America deal in 2008?
Yeah.
Bank of America exploded from there. Yeah, I would not be shocked if they did that. Pat's a really good CEO, so I'm pretty sure he can, persuade people there like him. Okay. I don't know what was your intention being, but my opportunity was at this level to start buying for shares. I missed it. I need to set some alerts. Sunday, do you guys want to do a stock watch list for month of March?
Yes, please.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll revisit the ones that we had from the last one. And then we'll kind of touch base and see how that did, if we would have gotten any entries, and then we'll go back and actually I can do that beforehand so we don't waste time. I got, I think, 3 from the watch list. I did get MM. I had an order, not that I didn't want it, but I did get an order on it. I think it was like 108-ish something. I forgot. Maybe here somewhere. I did buy some of this, yeah. And I mean, if you guys look at it, it's pretty good reward potentially here. If I can get 30% on this, better believe it'll be out of my pocket. Okay. All right, well, I'll schedule the watch list. We'll probably do it then a little bit longer Sunday. I do want to cover a couple of things on the volume profile, the additions, the open range concepts. We'll cover the regular open range, and then I'll add 2 more. So you guys can kind of start understanding when and how it plays out. When can you expect like an open drive to work, if it's short or long? And then when can you see if it's a test and breakout, test, or fail? So those are the 3 concepts. And I think once you guys incorporate those, you guys will start seeing some stuff. Again, this game is more mental than it is technical. So a lot of you guys are still trying to do too much, right? And what I mean by that, I see some of you guys, you do well for a couple of sessions, and then you guys will go ahead and convert back to being a gambler. Meaning that you start taking trades where there's no trade to be taken. I just don't understand that, right? If you had a good streak, what you should do is minimize how much you expose your capital versus increasing. A lot of you guys get on a, a nice little streak of win, 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 win. And then you think, the market, you get a little fucking cocky and then you lose it all. The idea when you start winning is to be humble and stop. Relax, put the ball down, means like, start thinking a little bit more logically instead of being, oh, it's like casino, guys, literally. If you've never been to Vegas, the first time you go, you're gonna win. And I guarantee you, within 30 minutes, once the alcohol kicks in, that's why it's free, you get the little dopamine, right? You get the rush and you're like, man, why do these people think you can't beat Vegas? And then you make one trip to the ATM machine, then you have another drink, then you get another drink, and then you go a couple more times to the ATM. And then you eat at the White Castle after.
Happened to me when I bought a lottery ticket. Like the first time I won, I played a game. The second time I lost it all, so I'm like, screw it.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of you guys have like the gambler's fallacy, right? Somebody's like, hey, you can get for sure 10% here now, or you can get, 30% if you try one more time. I just don't understand why you guys opt for the 30% with the 50-50 coin flip when you have 10% in your hand guaranteed. And for you that are doing the, the 1K challenge with the partner, I hope you guys are meeting and discussing that with them to kind of review the trades. The idea behind that is for you guys to be accountable. It's not to say, oh yeah, I'm doing this 1K challenge, this. No, it's for you guys to literally spend some time. It does not cost you much to spend 10 minutes, guys. If I can, do the watch list, go live with you guys and give you my time, there's no reason why you should not spend 10 minutes with your partner. Hey, this is the trade, what I took. Hey, what do you think? Get somebody else's perspective. Let them critique what you're doing. That's why I said in your, in your log, and some of you guys that had one-on-ones with me, how many did I tell to take a Word document and start documenting your feelings on the trade itself?
Yeah, I remember that you said.
Yeah.
A lot of you guys fail to remember stuff if it's not written down. And there's a saying, where I come from, a smart person writes it down, the dumb one tries to remember it.
Yep.
And it's true. For you guys, you cannot know how you're doing in trading if you're not being composed and writing down what works, what doesn't. I just don't understand. How do you guys, how can you know where you went wrong if you don't even know what you did wrong?
Can't.
And just like trading, why do you guys think about everything in one trade? How about out of 1,000 trades that your winning ratio is higher, even if you're losing trades, even if you flip a coin and you lose 50, let's say 50-50, but make sure that you lose the 50. The amount that you lose is much less than when you're winning. And what I see in chat, and I'm just telling you guys that I pay attention to your behavior and how you act when you lose a trade builds habits. I'm not going to call you out, but you lose a trade and a lot of you guys are, man, I fucked up on this trade. Instead, what did anyone notice what I wrote in the chat today? I said I poorly executed this trade. Did anyone catch that?
You added 2K.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did I say I
know.
fucked up? No, I just executed poorly and I know what I did wrong.
Said
And
I know better.
next time, I promise you, I won't do it again. But if I wrote I fucked up, of course, my mindset, the way I'm going to look at the trade doesn't mean anything. How many times did you guys say, oh, I fucked up? It has no meaning. Instead, you gotta accept it. You gotta make instead of being I fucked up, let it be a learning lesson. Not to do it again. Like CK, I know his problem deep down. I could tell, like, spit it out immediately now. He has his levels. A lot of times he doesn't trade his plan. I would say 9 out of 10 times, sometimes he itches to get in a trade. And then second, he's not sure, if he lost money before in trading, now he's making sure he doesn't lose more. He doesn't let the plan work out. And that's a really dangerous situation you can be in, because then you see the winners, the trade that you would have made money on per your plan, you see it work out, but guess what? You're not in it.
You know what? You're absolutely right. In order to fix that, what I do is the trade that I'm itching to because that's my level. If I don't take it, I put that trade on the Excel and then I see the result if it is good or bad.
Simple.
Every time it is win.
Well, so I know your weakness, but the way you fix it is that you enter the plan and you exit where you said you would exit. You don't have to move your stop loss. This game is of you taking probabilities on your setup and trusting yourself.
Yeah.
The best wins I had this week is where I literally did that. I said, I'm taking a short here. I'm not moving when I trade live and, when the action is tight, of course, I'm going to move my stop loss. If I see that they're doing this crap on compression and you see the volatility is crazy, I'm going to move my stop loss because I don't know, when the next candle reversal is going to come. But if I see a really good setup, right? Like I caught two almost for full. I think it was 7-1 when we had the dump. What is it, 2 days ago or whenever? And it played out like one contract, getting you $200-300 on ES is pretty good return. My stop loss was $7.
That's insanely good. Risk reward.
Yeah, but I mean, and today, you guys, I posted my stop loss was $3 and I made $18. I know for you guys, it's not enough, but hey, I'm telling you, for me, that's plenty. I think of terms of percentages. You guys think of dollars. I converted $3 to 18. You go ahead and flip $3 to 18 outside somewhere. It's not that easy, right?
No.
And if you're discouraged, trading is not easy. But I think it's by far the hardest thing I've ever had to learn. If people tell you, all these people on Instagram and Twitter, the Lambo people that have 60,000 subs, how do I say this nicely? I don't think that's the life they would live if they didn't have the subs and if they only traded. It's impossible to be in the market for a year and develop millions. I guarantee you it's impossible unless you have millions. And unless you've been bred from early stage on in your life about risk management, as we talked about in Trading in the Zone, Mark Douglas, most people are not. I was not. I was not brought up that way. And especially in today's, America, if you live here, if you have kids, how many hours did you spend with your kids today? Anyone have kids on the call?
3 hours or so.
Few minutes.
Not enough.
If anyone spent more than 6 hours, I'll reward you. There's no way. They're in school for 8-9 hours with a bus ride or whatever they do. Then they come home. If they have homework or whatever, they go away. They do the homework. Your interaction and your ability to model the kid to be a risk manager, to think about these things, and to be a free will risk manager, because that's what you need to have a decision on your own to be a risk manager. When he goes to school, can he sometimes sit whatever chair he wants to? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It depends on the teacher. So again, the rules are implemented by others for them. And that's that's opposite of what trading does. In trading, it's you screen. And how many bosses do you have?
One.
Nobody's telling you what to do and when to cut.
Yep.
So you have to build that. It's one thing to build the rules. It's more important to be disciplined to obey the rules. Like with my little guy, he was baiting, and I turn on the hot water. I let it run on purpose. I asked him, "Hey, don't touch. It's pretty hot." And he wants to touch. Do you think I stopped him? Mm-mm.
Why
No,
not?
He touched it. He cried a little bit. I let the hot water run again. Do you think he touched it again?
nope.
Oh, I
That's
promise
just-
you he did not. It was just a fun experiment. I know it was a little painful for him, but hey, next time I run the water, I think he'll remember it.
That's
I
like
think
the
he explains
story.
that in the book as well. That trading in the zone, like sometimes parents prevent the children from experiencing
Yeah,
painful outcomes.
that reminds me of the. It reminds me of the little boy and the dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of you guys want this trading to work, honestly, and I know who does. But you really have to look at yourself in the mirror every day and every trade and be like, are you doing everything you're supposed to change your identity to be a professional trader? I'm not asking you to make money. I'm asking you to change your identity first. Some people that I'm working one-on-one in this group, they really are, changing their identity. I catch him sometimes doing some stuff, and I get on him, but then he comes out. He's blowing up accounts, but he didn't quit. And now he's finally seeing it. He goes on a vacation. He said, before I would trade while I'm on vacation. Now, would a professional trader trade while he's on vacation?
Nope.
No,
I would say 10 out of 10 times no. Unless he's playing, let's say he's making a couple of million a year, to put a bet for a couple of $100, yeah, I could see that. But to sit down and actually make a serious amount of trades and plan, no. That's never going to happen, right? Just know, whatever you think, and what you have to accept is that you're the problem, and guess where's the solution?
right here.
You're also the solution.
Yep.
So you have to look at yourself when you're trading and see, are you being real to what you want to do and what you want to be with trading? A lot of people, that come in a Discord and they expect a golden ticket for me to tell you not every trade I take works. And if there's a trader that claims that every trade that he takes works, then man, I think I need more learning, because it's impossible to do that.
Yep. We got in a trade this morning around 9:50 something. Remember, Shorty? It was a put, and then it turned,
For
and
3,900.
and we had to cut our losses short. But
Yep.
we were still green, but we didn't let it go red, but we cut our losses short, and that
Yep.
was that.
And we hit SPY this morning. I think it went from, I think it was 166, and they popped a lot. I mean, Tesla was also good, but those are the things. Imagine if I didn't take some of those profits on SPY. I had like 40 contracts on that. I could have held it and hoped, man, I won 1,000%. But that's okay. 20 contracts, you make $80 on 20. That's not bad. And then you sell
No.
another 20. That's pretty good too. Not many people can make $1,600 even in a month.
You kidding me? Not many people can make $20 in 5 minutes, man.
No, it's impossible. Okay. And I don't mean to go on a rant like about this stuff, but a lot of you guys almost need a weekly reminder, honestly.
No, thank you, Shorty. 'Cause I need to be reminded. I appreciate it when you
And
do
if you
this.
think about it, you're writing your self-book with trading, believe it or not.
Yeah.
If you document your log, you're writing all those self-books that people post, you're writing your own. And if it was easy, like everybody says, everybody would be doing it. Okay. And just know the longer you stay in the game and the longer you really understand yourself and your tendencies in the market, the easier and the sooner you catch, they call it the aha moment in trading.
I totally agree with you, Shorty.
Some of you guys, you know, including Cuban himself, not picking on you, came,
Oh no.
you know, he came with zero knowledge. I'm not saying that you were clueless in trading, but you know, for
Zero.
me, on my level, I would say you came as a fresh
Yes. Zero knowledge.
person, right? And for Cuban to come in and match the levels and the ideas, and I'm not saying I'm the, you know, depth trader, like, oh my God, but it's impressive when you see him, hey, yeah, I see that. And then he points out things. Then there's a few other people, you know, Knowledge Seeker Ghost. I don't know if you guys know him. He's been doing really well. Like I think he made almost 10K this month or this week trading.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome to see.
That's fantastic.
I've been working with him almost now regularly for a long period of time, almost 7 months. Okay.
Don't quit till the miracle happens.
Well, I mean, there's really no quitting unless you sign up for a different career and you want to go, you know, dig somewhere and flip burgers. Then, I mean, I'm serious. You can go do that. I was just the other day. We stopped by Wendy's. My son loves the chicken nuggets there, and I'm just looking at this guy. He was maybe his like 60s, 50s, and he's working there. And I'm like, man, poor guy. You know, I don't know how much you can make at Wendy's. Honestly, have no idea if it's 20 an hour or 10 an hour. Let's say it's 20. That's, you know, 20 times 2080. That's what, $42,000 a year. If you're working full time, 40 hours a week, you take the taxes, you're walking out with like 34. $34,000. I mean, think about it. You have how many trading days? 256, right? Let's say you make $50 a day. It's 13K. And you did not flip burgers and you didn't do any of it. And you can have a tax bill on this if you have a good CPA that's not that high if you have a business. If you, let's say, make, when people say, you know, 250s, man, that's not a lot. It's $64,000, guys. So instead of being focused on the money for a moment, forget this. Learn, you know, I'm giving you ideas. I'm giving you, like, I give you concepts that you can trade. I give you the levels you can trade. Today there was, you know, at least once I hit the red trade, I told Dumpster, I was like, man, I'm just gonna take one more Adderall. I really need to focus to get out of this red. And I went, I got coffee, I took another Adderall, and I went literally 8 for 8 on futures. And just playing ping pong. I mean, if you guys recall, we took the POC, I believe it was here, right? We took literally the bottom tick of POC, cut here. Did we get back in here? I believe if you go back, we got back in here. Then I sold here. Then I was able to get some more as well here. I believe I got more. And then I took a couple of low scalps in between here. And I was just trading, you know, like 100% focus me in a chart. And once you get in that type of zone, and that's also something that many traders talk about, when you get in a zone, you're seeing the market. It's almost like market's talking to you. Like, hey, do this. This is what I'm about to do. And then you just start listening. But a lot of you guys, you need to turn off the distractions. If you have your phone or, I don't know, you know, I don't look at Twitter unless I'm posting on Twitter. I barely even look at the news that we have in the news channel unless, you know, I'm trying to see like today what the Fed was saying. Like, why was the spike there? I'm not in it unless there's plain news in the morning, like 8:30. Of course, I don't trade it, but I wait for and see what the news were and reaction, right? But I don't steadily have distractions that cause me to not be focused on the chart itself. And Raider, I mean, you're not dumb. I don't think anyone's dumb. When you think about this whole world, right? It's just a universe, and we don't know if there's other people there. So you can't be dumb. It's your limitation and what you're putting in your brain. Honestly, I don't think there's dumb people. I just think there's people that put that in their head and they strongly believe it, and they believe it, and it becomes reality for them. I honestly don't think there's dumb people. There's people always that have something special about them. I would never label people in that way and be serious about it. Okay. I think I'm gonna end it here, and we can talk more tomorrow, and then Sunday we'll do the stock class. Oh, not the stock class, kind of like a stock watch list. We'll run some scans on the clouds.
Yeah, Shorty, can you go over the clouds on Sunday maybe?
Yeah, we can definitely. I mean, we cover clouds. Yeah, clouds are easy. There's 4 plays on them.
That'd be great.
So we'll cover that. We'll cover the watch list. Believe we have 7 spots left. If you have friends or family, they want to join the Discord, you're welcome to join. As you guys know, we do a ton of education lives. If they want to join and they want to learn, they're welcome to come. Otherwise, that would be it for me tonight. I'm gonna catch some sleep and be fresh.
Shorty, are you going to be live tomorrow?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks. Have a good night.
I'll be live tomorrow.
Have a good
See you
night.
guys.
Thank you so much, Shorty.
Shorty.
Bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
Shorty.
Have a good night.
Good night, guys.
Thanksgiving, good night.
Tomorrow.
Take
Yeah.
Good night, TJ. Good night, Bean. Good night,
Night, Rockets. Is Rockets on?
Night.
my man Joneser.
Oh, thanks, man.
Good night, guys. Good night, Rockets.
Cuban still there?
Yes, sir.
Hey, it's Vin. How you been?
Who is it?
Vin.
Hey, man. How you doing?
Sorry, I just got back from my trip, so I missed out a lot of trades. Not sure if you've heard you've been caught up with everything.
Well, I'm getting there, brother.
That's good. Very